Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? I am Peter Brown. Thanks for everybody for joining. We tied. And so we're going to talk a lot about a tie and try to put a positive spin on it, right? Because, a tie sucks, but at the end of the day, the youth movement is in full swing. But there's a lot to talk about there. So we'll talk a lot about that tonight, plus anything else you guys want to discuss. But as always, I don't do this by myself. Everybody say hello to everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. How you doing, Ed?
How's it going, Peter Brown? Oh man, at least we didn't lose, and that's something that a sports short said. At
Right,
least we're not losing.
And we named last week's show. What is the losing streak over? Maybe it is. I mean, we didn't lose, so we're not winning, but at least we're not losing, right?
Okay. We're getting points, and we actually cut that the difference. I think we're only 10 points off of a playoff spot, maybe less, maybe 9 points. I'm sure you're gonna look it up.
Yeah, we have 18 points, and Montreal, who's sitting just above the line, has 26. That's 8, right? I'm not good at math, but I think that's 8.
8 points. Wow.
I think that's 8. I'm not good at math, but I think that's 8.
But hey, that's not bad. We were behind by 10.
We got to win on the road. But anyways, we're going to get a lot of that tonight. But before we do all that, let's tell everybody where they should be shopping. And that's at Canes Ware. Canes Ware has all your Messi gear, everything Messi you want. I got to head out there because they even ordered this kind of Messi goat shirt. It's not officially branded Messi stuff, but it's something that they're going to carry, and it looked fun. They told me about it, and I said, yep, order it. People will buy it. At least I will buy it. So go to Canes Ware and check out anything you want for Messi. It's all there, and located in Davie, Florida on University Drive, just south of 595. And if that's too far for you to drive, just go to canesware.com. All orders over $99 ship for free. And yeah. And also, before we get to the people in the chat,
for me,
you can call 786-474-4435 if you want to leave a voicemail. What's going on in the...
What Peter said.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people in there, Peter. The chat is nice and alive. We got sports shirts, which I mentioned earlier. He says, at least we're not losing.
I guess. That's what he says. At least we're not losing, I guess.
And we got one world. Yeah. We got one world, one goal.
Just talk about the mural.
Murals. I don't know if you saw, Peter,
murals are popping up all over town, and we might do something with that. Me and Ed were talking.
Yeah. We also have Kata. Kata is with us. What's up, Kata? Our buddy, one of our good buddies, Kevin Gonzalez, is also with us. Peter Brown.
Yes,
we run into him every so often.
What are you waiting for, Messi?
If you run into us, be sure. Yeah, what are you waiting for? Come in and hang out with us for a little bit while the Heineken bar is still there.
For the moment.
And we'll try to be there. Jose Velasquez is with us as well. It is Messi's week. He's coming in, and Beckham's in town too, so something's happening. Our friend Broward Heron, he's on with us as well. The best photographer I've seen lately is Chris Arjun. He's also with us right there.
I love Chris troll has been, at least that's the way I take it. He's been trolling people on the internet who those people that blamed Neville for everything. So it's like Stefanelli gets hurt, and he's posting on Facebook, blame Neville. It makes me
hilarious.
Laugh every time I see it. It makes me laugh.
Yep. Talk about criticizing. Esteban Dito. Oops, I skipped somebody, but let's go with Esteban Dito for now.
Welcome back. It's been a while. I missed Esteban. It's been a while. I haven't seen him in here in a while. What's going on?
Yeah, we've been missing his another person that criticizes. That's him. Our good buddy Eric Thomas is also with us. I skipped him by accident.
Oh yeah, of course. Well,
Good. And we've got football kids. Well, we got to keep it nice and kid friendly, Peter Brown. Football kids there.
that's right.
And talk about look all the people that like talking back and stuff. Louis Rodriguez, he's another one.
Louis was up there. I mean, he came down hard on Mr. Glass. I mean, I was reading some comments that he made about Mr. Glass saying he's not worthy. I mean, just like some coming down hard on the kid. A little rough, I thought. But he got people talking.
Yeah,
he got
doesn't
people
hold
talking now.
back. He does. He's good at that. We also have Guyver with us.
Oh, geez, where?
See, I'm telling you, Peter, it's a full.
I hadn't scrolled down.
We got going. Oh, you got to start going down there. We also got Tio Luis is with us.
Everybody's an uncle.
Yeah, we got so many uncles around nowadays. I thought I was the only one, and then all of a sudden everybody became uncle this, uncle that.
Everybody wants to be an uncle.
It's a hard job, but people got to do it.
That's right.
And I think that's it for now, Peter Brown.
Yeah. I was talking about the injury real quick. One World One Goal says that injury on Stefanelli was deliberate by the player. Other people jealous were getting Messi, so they hurt our guys. I don't buy that. To me, it looked like he barely touched Stefanelli. Stefanelli kind of looked like he just twisted his ankle a little bit, trying to kind of dodge out of the way. I don't know. I didn't think it was that harsh.
Looks like he hurt himself. But
That's
talk about hurting themselves, Peter Brown.
But
talk about hurting themselves. You know who I'm leading at? The most delicate person on Inter Miami.
Mr. Glass?
You know who that is. Mr. Glass.
Robbie Robinson?
Down again. Not coming back, it seems. What's your take on him?
We've been hearing for a little while that Robbie was going to be gone already. But I'm not sure how all that works. Like, can you cut a player that is injured? Because, I guess technically you could, but he was injured while he's working for you. You've got to make sure you're taking care of his injuries, financially speaking. But so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they would cut somebody that is currently injured. But yeah, there's been talk for a couple of weeks that he's longer than that he's going. But as of for a couple of weeks, people saying he is gone. Like, it's not gonna last. And people thought that Pizarro would be gone already as well. I had mentioned that I thought he would play at least until the DC United game, because why not? And he did. But yeah, Robbie, the thing is, and it's just like we talk about here, that we get so many injuries, and I know a lot of MLS teams get injuries. I mean, we're not alone in that, but we have such an inordinate amount of them this year that you do have to start wondering about the training. But with Robbie, man, you just breathe on him. Just breathe on the guy. And he's got talent. And that's why I thought Louis was harsh. And here he says,
harsh.
It's the reality, not being harsh. It's the reality. I mean, I forgot Louis could type in his thoughts, his true thoughts. But I thought I remember him writing something about the player's not worthy. And, could injuries be partially his fault because he's not taking care of his body properly? Maybe. But since none of us are there watching him eat, watching him train, watching him take care of himself, we don't know. And so, could it also be like genetics? Like, just some people just get hurt easily. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him,
Well,
Ed?
he seems to be the I think maybe it might be genetics. I don't know. It's just he's just hurt too much. And the thing I was telling you, I think it was on WhatsApp, Peter Brown, that with our luck, he's gonna go to some, USL team or something, and he's gonna be like really good
Well,
and make a comeback.
I'm afraid he's going to go to an MLS team and be really, really well. If he goes to a USL team, the kid's got talent. So I don't care what Louis says or what anybody says. The kid has talent. And he just hasn't been able to stay healthy long enough to really, I think, get to that next level. But if he could stay healthy and with currently, I think the talent that he currently has, he'll be an all-star in USL. Here's what Louis was saying. He said training, nutrition, it's all in him, and he's perhaps not disciplined enough. Remember what you're saying there, Louis. Perhaps, because none of us know. None of us are sitting there with him at breakfast watching what he eats. None of us are there training with him. So this is all just us guessing. But there may be some truth to what you're saying as well. We just don't know. But what we do know is he gets hurt a lot. And based on the amount of injuries that he has, there's no space for him on this team. Not when you've got that youth movement in the academy pushing. They're going to push him out. So there's just no space for a guy that you breathe on and he gets hurt.
And Peter, the great thing is that, I was leading up to it and you basically did it for me. 6 players. Let me see if it does it. Oh, right there you go. 6 players. There they are. I don't need my fingers anymore. Look at that, man. It's just like, our future seems bright. If Messi could make these guys go to, Messi and Busquets and if the other player shows up too, there's a bright future ahead for Inter Miami.
Yes and no. So yes, bright future because the academy is still in its infancy. If you think about it, it's only a few years old. What, fourth season? Because it started the same time as the team, 4th season for the academy, which is its infancy. Imagine those players that came into the academy at 9, 10 years old and where they're going to be in the next couple of years. So, as of right now, these are all players that came in already in their upper teens, 15, 16 years old. And looking as good. So they haven't been in the academy nearly as long as some of these younger people. So imagine, like I said, you brought in a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, and now they've been training for 7 years or so with Inter Miami, and then they're 17. What are they going to look like then? My concern with these guys, yes, they look good right now, and we're playing 6 academy kids because we have no choice. How much playing time are they going to get once we bring in the old guys?
Well, the thing is, they got some playing time now, so they can play those positions. They could definitely cover. Yeah, they can definitely cover those positions. They probably, like you said, won't make. They won't be playing as starters for sure, but they're gonna definitely learn a lot from all the players that are coming in.
For sure.
They're in a good position to make a difference in the future. So I'm trying to be positive, Peter. I know you're always a Debbie Downer.
No,
but I'm Mr. Positive.
I came up with a title today. It was, a positive. We tied, but it's a win for the academy, and that's the thing. It is a win for the academy because 2 academy kids got their first MLS goals. So that's Noah Allen, that was kind of I would say maybe of a kind of an accidental goal. That was more of a cross, but it doesn't matter.
Shout out to Terry out there.
Yeah. Where's Dad?
Terry's.
And that's why I decided to put on my Fort Lauderdale shirt. My Fort Lauderdale shirt in respect for the academy kids.
Well, the guys are playing right now too. So
Inter
Miami 2 now it's called. But they're playing as we speak right now.
I want to go to those games, Ed, but my problem is
only $5.
I know, but majority of the games, I don't know if you looked at the schedule, majority of the games are on Sunday evenings, and we do this.
Maybe we can do a live from over there.
Yeah, maybe. But it hasn't been successful yet. I did change my cell phone carrier. Maybe I have better luck with AT&T than I did with T-Mobile inside the stadium. I don't know, but
we'll try to see. But I think we can get we could probably get on their Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
I'd imagine there's not going to be that many people.
I've been on their Wi-Fi. It's still a hit or miss, but yeah.
It'll
Anyways,
be better with only 10 people showing up.
I saw a picture. The stadium was empty, but I definitely want to check those games out. But the scheduling has been tough. But it's again, the academy. When you look at the coaching staff and everything from the academy, and that's where our current interim coach, I mean, he had a lot to do with these academy kids.
Right. And he knows where they played. And it's funny because I heard the press conference. Morales was telling Cremashi that, if he could score a goal for him.
Whoa. Hang on.
Yeah.
How do you say his name, Ed?
Didn't I say Cremashi? I heard him say it last night, too, and I still can't get it right.
He told you how to say his name, Ed, and you continue to get it wrong.
It's just one of those names, man. It's kind of like, you with every other name. You can't pronounce them, so he just happens to be my kryptonite.
I know, Kremoski. But, I mean, if you remember,
there we go, Kremoski.
Everybody says Kremoski, but when he told us, he almost didn't really pronounce the S on the front of his tongue. It was more on the back, like Kremaki, something like that. But everybody else says Kremoski, but not Kremashi. Get it right, Ed.
Yeah, well.
All right, what were you saying about Kremoski?
There you go.
What were you saying about it?
Oh, no, that Morales had asked him to score a goal since it was his last coaching gig.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he scored.
Yeah, and so I haven't been the biggest fan of Javi Morales as a coach, mainly because he's not playing my guy Campana, but he's not starting him at least. He's forcing him to come in the second half. But yeah, he has a lot to do with these kids because that's where he was he was coaching in the big thunder here.
Yeah.
Here you go. Eric Thomas. Spelling it out for you, Ed. Kremoski.
There we go.
Phonetics.
Thank you, Eric. You're the best.
Here's Bruno says exactly. This is the way he pronounces it. Kremoski.
Oh, there you go. I think that's more accurate because he kind of said it that way. Kremaki.
That is more how he said it. I think it's like the S is there, but it's like on the back of the tongue almost. But yeah,
it's like cream. The first part in Spanish is cream, and then just say key.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cream.
And
key.
here's Brow. Everybody's got. He silences the S. I've noticed. Yeah, that's how he says it. But like I said, every announcer says Kremoski. But you ask the man and watch our video, he'll teach you how to say it. Ed, you're gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah. I watched the press conference and I still can't get it right.
There you go. But out of the youth movement, here Bruno makes a comment saying Noah and Ian are my favorite of the young kids and most ready. I would start Frey from now on. I think Frey is the best of the six, and then I would put Kremoski there with him instead of Noah. Noah's good, but I think.
You didn't say that right. It's Kremoski.
I know. Now you got to correct me. But him and Ian, I think, are the closest to being ready, my opinion. But Ian Frey seems to be, I mean, not so much in this last game, but in the previous game, he was the only one able to do like any kind of diagonal passes. He actually has a bit of vision for these diagonal balls that seems like nobody else has.
Right. And your boy Sailor, man, he made a couple mistakes. He's rusty, man.
Yeah,
I've seen Sailor play better. He's a little rusty, but I think he can get back into it if he gets a little more playing time. What other player did you think was doing pretty good?
I mean, like I said, the kids did well, but other than that, I wasn't excited about the game. I mean, We're too slow, and that's where it's got to change. We're too slow in movement, and every time we get the ball, they start passing back. I mean, I've been a big fan of Robbie Taylor in the past, but lately it's like he gets the ball and he just looks to pass it back, and that's it. Kind of liked Ruiz.
They've been doing that a lot. Yeah.
Kind of liked Ruiz. He played well.
Ruiz, he's scrappy. He's tough in there.
Yeah,
he's one of those scrappy players.
He'll get you a red card
because I'm taking you down. Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of yellows and reds. God bless him.
And then
I like that he plays with huevos, with the H factor they call it in Spanish. Huevos.
So what do you think about this guy, Ed Pizarro?
Man, bro.
My buddy Pizarro here.
Hearted over him. Yeah.
I think he had a good first half, but then disappeared in the second half. And then you read a lot of comments and people, and it's not the professional side, but I could get it where people say, well, he has nothing to play for. He knows he's getting,
axed.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's one thing. Okay, so there was an interview with Pizarro after the last game, not this one, but the previous, and where Pizarro was saying things like he was surprised or didn't quite understand the fact that he could get traded to another club. That was news to him, and he's just learning about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been with his team since day one. He's been in this league a while now. How do you not know that? I mean, Ed, if you go to work for a company, you you should know a little bit of the ins and outs of the company, and especially those ins and outs that involve your employment, right?
That are your in and outs, yeah.
Yeah, whether you are in and out.
Right. And the thing is, yeah, he should. I mean, maybe he's one of those players that just wants to concentrate on playing, and he's got his manager or whoever's, maybe he's got a manager, and the manager takes care of those things. So maybe he just wasn't aware of it or something. Uh-huh.
And that's what Kata's saying. Bad agent for Pizzy. Yeah, but you could blame the agent, but I still put that on Pizarro. I mean, how do you not know stuff? Esteban Dito says, about the pick, Pizarro who? Everybody knows who the actual star is in that picture. Thank you. Thank you very much. Of course, I had to put that up. And somebody else was asking when that picture was. Oh, here, Kato was saying, when was that picture? That picture was what? A month ago, maybe? About a month ago, maybe? Mm-hmm. Maybe 5 weeks ago. And
when he was hurt and Peter was in the VIP again.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the VIP area. And this time you just weren't at the stadium, Ed. So,
right. So yeah, you don't have to feel bad.
Luis Rodriguez says, read the manual. At least understand your contract, bruh.
And he should. I mean, what's the deal? But the thing is, I feel bad for him because I think he's a good player. I just don't think they used him where he was supposed to be. They thought he was going to be a playmaker. He's obviously not a playmaker. He's not a number 10. He can create plays. I think he's more of he's one of those loose players that you can have, going around and playing around like a, what's it called? In Spanish, it's called libero. It's one of those free players. I don't know how you say it in English. But, I just don't think that the coaches we had used him the way that they should have. He's definitely not a 10. And, I just feel bad for the guy. He just didn't work out.
I don't feel bad for him. He had all the opportunities in the world. That was the other thing, too, is in comments that I read, he also was kind of blaming Neville that he had never played for a coach that had so many rules. That sounded like he was handcuffed, that he's used to playing with that freedom that you talked about, and that he wasn't allowed to play with that freedom. And it just was kind of making excuses. I don't buy it because he also played last season in Monterrey, And from everything I hear, didn't do so hot there either. So
he didn't do hot.
Right.
I watched, I think, a game or two, and he was just off there as well. So I don't think it's just,
different coach.
I think he's just, different coach.
Can't blame Neville.
I think he's a good player. He just needs to be in the right place at the right time, and he can make it work. And somebody knows how to use him, I guess.
And here's the thing: is I'm giving him a hard time a little bit. I'm giving him a little bit of a hard time, but I've been a big apologist for I like him. I would love to see if we could still keep him on the team and get him on the field with Messi and all that, because he's got skill and he's got heart.
That would be nice.
I mean,
I think his level would go up.
Yeah,
with Messi around.
Yeah,
I think he's that good of a player. Well, he'll make a difference with Messi. The passing would be phenomenal. It's too bad we can't keep him, because I think, as far as depth is concerned, if Messi goes down or something, he can cover some of those spaces. But yeah, it's just the way that the things are. How MLS is right now. We just can't have the players that we would want.
Right.
And he has to probably be one of the ones that's going to be sacrificed.
Bruno's coming at me a little bit here. Not true, Peter. Gonzalo Higuain would drift back and clogged up the midfield, and Neville never played to his strengths. I'd say you're a good enough player to figure it out, But we all know I was not a fan of Higuain either. So I'm not going to. Can you say Higuain and Pizarro definitely did not play well together? They didn't mesh at all and didn't like each other. So, Luis Rodriguez says hashtag bring back Neville. Louis Rodriguez says different coaches, injuries affected Pizarro. Oh, so it's okay to say injuries affected Pizarro, but it's not okay. But we don't give Robbie Robinson an excuse for injuries, Louis. Just saying, even playing field. But
just throwing that out there.
If we're gonna give Robbie a hard time, and no excuses, we got to give Pizarro a hard time with no excuses, right? But the rumor is he's gonna go to LA Galaxy. Come on, that's not a bad place to go either. That's another big club in the league that's struggling. And LA has to make deals like this because they also got caught cheating. And I forgot what player it was for. And their penalty was financial, but then also they're not allowed to make any international signings within a couple of trade windows. They were penalized for like 1 or 2 trade windows. So like if they want to improve their squad now, they can't just go out and look in Europe or look in South America and grab a player. So this would be a way for them to get a DP without having to go outside the league, right? So get one, and that so they that's why Galaxy's getting mentioned here.
Well, it could work out for them. I think it would be ideal for them. They need players right now. They're also like us, where they've got Chicharito's hurt. He's probably not going to be back for the rest of the season, so they definitely need some magic to get back in there, and somehow they were able to beat LAFC the other day, so that's good for them. And they're just as bad as Inter Miami is, so they need all the help they could get.
Yeah, where are they at? They're better than us.
They're towards the bottom too.
Yeah, but they're better than us. They're not at the bottom. We're at the bottom.
Right.
They
were,
not
I
much,
think.
Not much better.
We're catching up, Peter. We're only 8 points from playoff spot.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs says if Pizarro didn't like Higuain, he probably won't like Messi. I don't know. We'll have to see. How is Messi's frustration level? That's going to be a real test. How's his frustration level?
No, but he's always striking me as a very humble player.
Seems like it.
He'll get scrappy or whatever when the chance gets, but I don't see him raising his hands up and
every 5
doing
minutes.
the Higuain, typical, every 5 minutes and saying, everybody else sucks and he's like the best in the world. I don't see him doing that. He's just not like that.
So talking about Messi, I was reading an article in The Athletic and it made me think. So the article was I forgot the title, but the article was saying, should Messi get the Michael Jordan rule? And they talk, is this about the referees? Should he get preferential treatment for, if anybody comes near him, basically Messi gets all the fouls. So, and that's a good question because does the referee organization do they put out a message saying we need to protect Messi, which helps us, but at the end of the day it helps the league. So because if in this story they go back to the first game that Beckham played, and player, I think his name was Sirio or something like that, he went in for a hard tackle. And when he made that tackle, he leaned down to Beckham and said, "Welcome to MLS," and basically saying,
"Wow,
we're out to get you, and we're not afraid of you." So players may send a similar message to Messi. Do the MLS referees go out of their way to protect him? Now, of course, the MLS organization, the referee organization, says they don't do that kind of thing. There's no rule about protecting the player, but each ref will manage the situation differently. But one thing they did make a comment about that is something to think about, and I hadn't really thought about it, is as MLS grows, so too does the referee group. So there are, because they keep adding more teams, they have to keep adding more referees. So you've got several referees that are underexperienced. Right? They don't have the level of experience. For the Messi games, you're going to see the top-notch, the best, most experienced MLS refs. And do you think they should get should Messi get preferential treatment, Ed? Do you think he will? Whether he should or not, do you think he will?
I think he is, man. The league, it might be a secret. They're not going to say it out loud, but they want him to keep playing. They don't want him to get hurt.
Right.
I think they're going to be, after trying to make sure that he doesn't go down. I mean, him getting hurt, missing a game or two, that's going to affect pockets of, of everybody.
Yeah,
the
because
league, and they're going to,
I was reading another comment somewhere. There's a dummy fan in DC who, once Messi made his announcement that he was coming to MLS, ticket sales in DC, for example, they sold an extra several thousands of tickets. I think it was like 3,000 more tickets after Messi's announcement. People hoping that would be his first game, because at that point nobody really knew. And this one guy doesn't normally go to MLS games, doesn't care about MLS per se, but he went to the game hoping to see Messi. And then he saw that game, which wasn't the most attractive game. And he's like, screw MLS. I'll come when Messi comes. So there's going to be a lot of people like that are only showing up to an MLS game because the possibility of seeing Messi. So if he's hurt, those people who paid over ticket value probably are going to be pretty upset that he's now hurt and not playing. I think Ed froze.
I agree, Peter. No, I froze for a little bit. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. My internet's a little bad.
Or he was just deep in thought because
I'm here.
Broward Heron says they better make sure we get the best refs for all our games. All eyes are on us, and that's what the pro organization said. I forget what it stands for. It's referee organization, professional referee organization, I think is what it stands for. That's what they did say. Is they'll get guys that have experienced in MLS Cup championship games. They are guys that we've got, I think, 4 refs in the league that have reffed at World Cup So those are the kind of refs that will be assigned to Inter Miami games, at least in the beginning, so to make sure that it's as fair as possible. And every call that Messi gets that is questionable, everybody's gonna scream, "Oh, he's getting preferential treatment." The coaches on the other team, and actually, it's funny is in this article there was one unnamed coach that said he should get preferential treatment. Now, I don't know if he'll feel that way when they're playing against his team, but
right, he'll probably be the first one to complain.
Right, and we don't know who that coach was because that's the one thing with some of these articles is there's a lot of unnamed sources. So, anyways, Ed, why don't we take a minute and go to a voicemail?
Let's do it.
It's time for your voicemail. Hello?
Woohoo! It's Italian, part 2. Just want to say, oh my gosh, Noah Allen scored. Shout out to his dad, Terry Allen. Super excited. He's a wonderful Fusion fan who, of course, guess who his favorite player was. But I'm not going to say because this needs to be all about Noah Allen. And Benha looked good too. So, as I said a long time ago, they need to play the kids. When we were watching originally, the first Inter Miami 2 team there ever was, which was actually called Fort Lauderdale, way back like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, they played a beautiful South Florida style, and I had such faith in them, and they were actually much more entertaining than our first team, which most of those people are gone, although we wouldn't mind having some of those Argentines back to go with Messi, but we have faith in Chris Henderson, and super, super excited to see them play the kids. The kids are all right. Okay, love you guys. Love the show.
All right. Yeah, the kids definitely look good. Comment in the chat. Oh, Esteban saying, mark my words, Messi will play the last 15 minutes in the League Cup game against Cruz Azul. That's what I think as well, but I'm hearing that from unnamed sources that possibly that he's going to play the whole game. But I would assume that you're right, Esteban. It would basically the same thing with Beckham. He got rolled out in the last. Here's a question. The All-Star game is coming up soon. I think it's I forgot the exact date, 10 days or so. Does Messi have any part in the All-Star game? I don't think he plays in the All-Star game, but does he walk out on the field, do a little hand wave, wear a Inter Miami polo, and just make an appearance? I would think he should, because we're hearing that he's going to be in South Florida in the next few days to sign that contract.
Yeah. And David Beckham's in town painting murals. There's 10 murals already, Peter Brown.
Yeah.
Come on, people, stop. There's not going to be any murals left to paint anything.
Are there? We need those. All those murals are in Dade County, though, right?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything in Broward. Somebody should put something up by the stadium.
The team plays in Broward, right? I know they're called Inter Miami, but the team plays in Broward. Can we get a mural in Broward? Do we have any artists in Broward County? Get me Joseph Gormley. Get him on the phone.
There you go. Get him to do a mural in the by the stadium or on the stadium or in the stadium somewhere.
I don't care if it's at the stadium.
Give the guy a wall.
These murals that are being painted in Miami aren't anywhere near a stadium because there isn't a stadium. They're just on walls. Pick a wall. Put them somewhere. Pick a wall.
Yeah. Get Joseph Gormley out there, and he'll do a nice one in the Broward area. It's the least they could do.
Broward Heron agrees, of course. I haven't seen anything around, to be honest, which is pretty sad. Yeah, sad. Let's get a Messi.
That's what we need.
Sport Shorts asks an interesting question. Messi, biggest, most impactful move in sports history? What do you think, Ed?
I don't know about soccer sports history for sure.
Of course, in MLS history, and in South Florida sports history, it's the biggest signing bigger than LeBron. I'd say we have our own big three here, with Messi, Busquets, and Alba, right? We're going to have our own big three. But is it the biggest, most impactful move in all sports history? I think you could say it's the biggest based on its level, like where he is and where the league is. His impact is going to be bigger than, say, maybe somebody else, and bigger than, say, Michael Jordan's impact was in basketball, because there was a lot of big name players in basketball. He was just the biggest, the best.
Right.
But in MLS, there is going to be nobody in comparison or close to Messi. So I don't know, but that's an interesting question. Biggest. The interesting thing, though, Ed, this got me when I saw some pictures. Our buddy up in New Jersey sent us some pictures of a Adidas store in New York with big, photos in their storefront windows with Messi in an Inter Miami shirt. So either he did a photo
selling
session.
Inter Miami shirts.
Either he did a photo session, or Adidas just did the same thing that everybody else on the internet is doing and just did a little Photoshop work, because all these other pictures that we've seen of Messi wearing a shirt, it's just Photoshop, right? So he either did a photo session, but what surprised me is that Adidas did this before his final contracts are all signed. I wouldn't expect, I would think that MLS would not be happy about that. But then again, you question who has more power in this situation, Adidas or MLS? Adidas says, screw you, I'll do whatever I want. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, they're just thinking about making money. I mean, I've seen a lot of shirts that, that have the Messi, it looks like the correct MLS lettering.
Yeah.
So it's kind of concerning.
Well,
what's
that
happening?
was it. At the last home game, I know you weren't there, but you were there. Wait, the last home game, you were there, right? No, you weren't.
No.
The last home game, I brought my daughter. The one before that, you were there. Anyways, the last home game, I saw so many looked authentic Messi Inter Miami shirts. I don't know if they're authentic, because there was a guy in the parking lot selling some knockoffs. And from a distance, those knockoffs looked good. I didn't look at them super close. And I'm not sure, are these people wearing knockoff shirts, or are they, because I don't think Inter Miami is putting the numbers and name on the back yet. I don't think they will. A store like Canes Ware was told they're not allowed to yet. But yet I've seen a ton of people wearing those.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be wearing them, but they still, selling them. But I think the ones that have the correct lettering, the MLS lettering and all that, those guys they probably ran out of all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Sports Short says he was in the Adidas store and they had Messi's merch. Was that Messi as in his branded or Inter Miami's? Because he's got his own line of T-shirts and stuff like that. And I'm curious, Sports Shorts, what Adidas store were you in? I was in Sawgrass a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't see anything yet there, but I'm sure it's got to be everywhere now. Yeah, it was his brand, Sports Shorts.
Well, I'm sure after Tuesday, that's gonna, as soon as he signs that, they've got everything ready, man. Those things are coming out big time.
Sports Shorts says that's the one I was in, so that means he was at Sawgrass. It's a big store there. But the funny thing, going back to the New York thing, the funny thing was that the NYCFC stuff was pushed to the back. And when you first walk in the store, it's all Inter Miami. As if, if you're a New York fan, if this was a New York-based show, we would be yelling and screaming that is so disrespectful to our team, and yet it's happening. I love it. Jet Pancake was in Sawgrass and says he saw some some Messi stuff as well. And look, I recommend you guys go to our sponsor. Go to Canes Ware. They have it too. I haven't been there yet, but I know they have it.
I was just at the Dolphin Mall, and I saw a lot of people wearing, I think, what were fake Messi. I mean, there's Messi all over the place. It's funny. It's all over like Instagram, all the social media people with shirts and stuff, and you can tell some of them are just handwritten and stuff. It's funny as hell.
Noah Allen's dad, Terry's in the chat, says very excited for him, his son, but he's more concerned to get a W. So Noah Allen, I guess he's speaking for Noah, saying he's happy, but they want to get a win for sure. But
win. We want to win.
Step by step. Alex Z is saying Fanatics lets you personalize them. Yeah, they will. You could type in anything you want, and I guess they're not going to stop you from putting in Messi. But I know for a fact that Canes Ware was told they're not allowed to do it until he signs. Now that was told to them by their Adidas rep or something like that. So Kata saying we need Messi burgers at Drive Pink. And Ed, we got to do that. We got to go do the Messi burger. So Ed and I were talking about getting together next weekend, Saturday to do a video or something. Maybe we could squeeze that into the video too. Do a bunch of things all together since we don't get together all that often unless we're at games.
There you go. I think it's going to be this weekend. We're going to be doing that since they're playing
Do a
away.
few different things. Do a few different things, and we can put out a few different videos and get them. I heard there's a Messi chicken sandwich coming out too at the Hard Rock. Not just the burger, but a Messi chicken sandwich. So, and Bruno's saying, heck yes, Kata, but it's a Hard Rock exclusive. So that was, and yeah, he's right. But I assumed, and maybe I'm wrong, but I assumed that once Messi signed with us, very quickly we would see Hard Rock sponsor Inter Miami in some fashion, whether stadium naming rights, jersey naming rights, or just, getting a banner up in the stadium, something. Obviously they can't do jersey naming because we're under contract. Can't do stadium because they're under contract, but do whatever they can. I just assumed because they're in the Messi business already that they would throw some cash our way, and so that it's even more in business with Messi. I'm curious if that's still going to happen. It could be announced that there's a new sponsor. I would expect it.
Yeah. I guess we're going to find out pretty soon. There should be a lot of new sponsors coming up that we just probably haven't heard about just yet.
Yeah, before there might have been a challenge getting sponsors. That challenge is gone. Now they're gonna have to be turning people away. Like, you're not big enough. You're not a global brand. Right. We're only looking for global brands. We don't want any local brands. We only, that's coming. And I'm curious how the XBTO. So that we're on what, year 2.5?
2, right?
Did it come in the middle of the year or of the second season? Didn't it come in the middle of the year?
I don't remember. It may have. I think so. Yeah, because our shirts didn't have them in the beginning.
No, they did not. And that's what Baldwin is saying. Aren't they locked into their current sponsors? I mean, you can always have more. That's my point. You can always have more. You can have stadium banners and stuff like that around, the ribbon board. You can always have more sponsors. But like jersey sponsor, I'm just trying to think. I think that was a 4 or 5 year deal with XBTO. So I'm just kind of, when does that run out? And so you can get like something.
Don't they wish that had run out already? They could make some bucks right now.
Don't they wish they had only signed a 2-year contract, right? Because that is now much more valuable. That shirt, that real estate is now way more valuable.
Oh, XBTO must be so thrilled that that's going to be coming out all over the world now. It was worth their money, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Kata's asked, remember the possible Qatar sponsorship era? Yeah. I think a lot of people are happy that didn't happen, but that was worth a lot of money.
It was, but I think we're good. They don't have to worry about that anymore. They can pick anything they want.
Bruno is saying Hard Rock on our jerseys would look badass or on a sleeve since Exmana isn't there on the right one anymore. Exactly. Put it there on the sleeve. And if you want to see what Hard Rock looks like on a jersey, go take a look at Tampa Bay Mutiny in the USL. Tampa Bay Mutiny. Tampa Bay Rowdies. I get my Tampa Bay teams exactly what Baldo was saying, just like Tampa Bay Rowdies. You want to see what one looks like? Just go look at the Rowdies, and they've got it on their shirt. One World, One Goal is asking for Publix. Would love was a 3-year. I thought Peter up next year. Maybe. Oh, that's a little hard to understand. But I think she's saying she would like to see Publix, and that the XBTO was a 3-year deal. Maybe. Kata's saying he's surprised XBTO is still a thing after the FTX thing. Yeah, well, FTX, I think, made Bitcoin, and XBTO, if I understand correctly, does not create Bitcoin, but they manage. They create software, something to manage your Bitcoin, if I understand it correctly. I don't know. But that is a weird, like some of those kind of jersey sponsors, it's weird. Like, does that company get the value, the return? Because you're advertising and to the people that are watching MLS. And majority of us that are watching MLS have no clue what XBTO is. So did they really get the value in their money that they gave us? I don't know. I mean, clearly, like you said, it's worth it now because Messi's wearing it. But still, if you don't know what the hell it is, I don't know. What do you think, Ed?
That's true. I think, it's going to work out for them because they're not going to go on a global scale. It's just everybody's going to be watching those games, and I think it's going to be worth it for them. If it's only a 3-year deal, that means in the next year or so, there's going to be a new sponsor. Probably they're going to be fighting over that.
That's right. So, okay, as we wrap up this week's show, we last 10 minutes or so. Next up, Ed, the team travels to St. Louis next week. They're playing St. Louis. St. Louis, new team on the block, and they're in first place.
Saints.
How are the kids gonna do?
They're doing good.
How are the kids gonna do up in St. Louis? Terry, how's and his son? I mean, that's going to be a tough game where we're going to face ex-Inter Miami Indiana Vasilev is still playing up there. I was watching a little bit of that game today. Indiana's playing for he traded up by going to St. Louis and a team that's in first place. So
it worked fine and dandy for him, man. That's for sure. That he did a good deal. St. Louis is trying to do a Chicago Fire when they first came out. So they're going to try to win the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Conversation still happening in the chat. I guess people still talking about sponsor. The Kata wants Apple Music as a sponsor. I think Bruno says Spotify is way better. I like Apple Music better personally, but that's because I'm an Apple nut.
Lover.
Yeah, Kata's
An
also
Apple
asking.
lover.
I did see this. Peter, did you see that combo of black shorts and pink shirt at the Adidas store? New look for debut. That's something I did notice. And in the window, they had the mannequins wearing the pink shirt with black shorts. That's something I've wanted. I like, and like, look, if we only had that look, I would want the monochrome, but I like mixing it up. They've got pink shirt, black shorts already. Let's mix it up. I like that. I think they should do it.
They might do it.
The St. Louis game is going to be a very, very tough game. I don't know if they can come out of there with a tie, but this will be Tata's first game. He was in the stands, and I saw on the broadcast that Jose Mas was there because there was the cameras caught Jose leaning in to talk to Tata. I don't know what they're talking about, but he was there.
Probably saying, "Hey Tata, what do you think, man? Can we make the playoffs?"
Right.
And Tata had his whole staff right there.
Yeah, he did.
They were all checking it out.
So, question is, I know Tata's a better coach. We're not going to argue that. But with the injuries, can he do much better? He's only going to have like a week work because he starts Monday, like his first day on the job. I know there's pictures of him walking around the training facility, but he's probably just at that point watching, just trying to get an idea of what he has to work with. But Monday will be his first real day on the job. And what can he do to transform this team in a week to play against, the best in the West?
It's going to be tough, Peter. I don't think there's very much that he can do that's going to change the team that we have right now until he gets Messi and Busquets and Alba on board and the other players that they say are coming.
Right, and those player announcements that are supposed to be in 1 week. 1 week from today, I think is what it was, the 16th, that are supposed to be the player announcements, and they're calling it something about unveil, like Kata's mentioning here. They're calling it unveil. Question is it going to be open to the public? I think it is, based on the way I saw on Twitter. It kind of sounded like it might be open to the public, especially if they're branding it as. And I think Michelle Kaufman was the one that did it, like quotes unveil. So if they're branding it you would imagine it's open to the public. So, and Football Kids is saying yes, it will. So he's under the belief or has some knowledge that it will be open to the public. So we got to plan on being there. And I would imagine, I don't know, is it going to be during the day or is it going to be in the evening? If it's in the evening, that would affect us doing this show. And at that point, who cares? Because that's going to be way more important.
That's true. That's true. And my wife is already starting to tell me, hey, if you can't get that second ticket, I guess you're not going to the games.
Oh, because she's going to go. Is that what she's saying?
That's what she said. Yeah. She's putting her foot down.
But hang on.
I got to get that second ticket, Peter. You got to help me out. Guys at the front office, help me out. I need that second ticket. Otherwise, my wife is going to be watching the games.
Yeah, there's talk about there's already some season ticket, like people putting in deposits or whatever. I mean, I haven't been contacted yet about renewing my season tickets, but also I have mine set to auto renew. So I just assume it's going to auto renew. But Ed, your wife didn't seem to care to come to the games before. Has she earned the right to take your ticket? I don't know. I think not.
She's my wife, man. She makes rules, on the get-go, man. I can't keep up with all the rules. I mean, Pizarro was complaining about, the rules that Neville did. I mean, it's worse in a marriage. You should know that.
So Steve Munoz checking in, saying,
tough.
Uncle Ed,
it's a tough life.
Get this, sell it, and then go out to a nice dinner with your wife. Sports Shorts calling out your wife.
Might have to.
Is she a bandwagon? Is your wife a bandwagon fan?
She is, totally.
100%.
She's been a couple games, but
a couple.
Totally bandwagon. Yep.
Eric Thomas calling it the way it is. I guess Mrs. Serrano is the man of the house.
Well, kinda.
One world, one goal telling
place.
me to be. One world, one goal telling me to be careful. Don't mess with Mrs. Ed. Yeah, she knows where I live. I better not mess with
Tough
Mrs.
cookie
Ed.
there. Yep. And she knows your wife too.
They do. Yes, they know each other. All right, Ed. So what's going on tomorrow? Are we doing this again, but in Spanish?
Yes, Peter Brown. I've got somebody lined up. Unfortunately, my connection hasn't been that good. I recently moved, and unfortunately, it's not what it used to be. So last show, I had a little bit of a problem. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's with the Parrot Max from Vice City.
Mm-hmm.
It came out pretty decently. I took out some parts that were too choppy, but I'm gonna try tomorrow, and hopefully it won't be too bad. But I'm definitely gonna upgrade to some different service. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I just check out to see if your area has AT&T fiber. I just upgraded, and it's pretty good so far. And the lines are buried underground, so hopefully it doesn't go down as often as, say, Comcast, which for me went down quite a bit. So,
Yeah.
All right. So everybody, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 9-ish, and watch the show in Spanish.
9 p.m.-ish.
And we didn't mention this. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but if you waited to the end, thank you. And tell your friends, share. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. And if we get there, we're going to give away 2 tickets to a Messi game sitting in the VIP section. In that front row, sitting right above the luxury boxes, sitting right above the visitor section. Great seats. So if we get to 5,000, we're giving that away. So it's, we want your help to help share this channel. You enjoy it, obviously, because you're here all the way to the end. So tell a friend, help us get to 5,000, and somebody will get 2 tickets. All right, and then we're gonna start promoting that as soon as I can make an image that Ed is happy with, and I think he's frozen again. But all right, let's wrap this up. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. And Kata's asking if the Sunday unveil will be a show on YouTube. We will try to go live from the unveil for sure. So look forward to that. And that's another reason to hit that bell icon, because you never, if we just decide to go live, you'll see it and you'll be notified. So thanks everybody. And we will see you next week and also tomorrow at 9-ish. See you everybody.